Hey guys, so a lot of you have been asking me to do a fondant video and show you how I make my fondant, but I've actually never tried to make fondant before because I was always kind of nervous because I heard that it was very tricky to make and hard to work with. So I finally got the guts to make it, and this is what it looks like. So the recipe was actually very easy and I didn't have any problems with it. So in this video you guys will watch me making it for the first time, and it was pretty successful. So if you guys want to learn how to make this, then just keep watching. So I'm a little nervous to make this, but I'm going to attempt to make fondant. So it first says to put 1/4 of a cup of water into a bowl. That's pretty easy so far. And it says to sprinkle the gelatin over and let it sit for 2 minutes. So this is what the gelatin looks like in case you have a hard time finding it. And it's right in the aisle with all the other Jello. So we need 1 tablespoon of this. So basically one of these, if yours comes with like 4 different packets, 1 packet is a tablespoon. So what it says is to sprinkle it over the top and let it sit for 2 minutes. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like when the water is cold, and it's almost been 2 minutes now. Just a little bit longer. Woo! Okay, so now that it's been 2 minutes, we have to put this in the microwave for 30 seconds on high and just wait till all of this dissolves. That's it after 30 seconds, and before it was kind of like, it basically looked like sugar and it was kind of like a solid, and now it has formed into a liquid. So now we have to add the almond extract, which just going to add this, and we're going to add 1 teaspoon. So now we have to add the light corn syrup, which we need 1/2 cup. So corn syrup, and now to add the glycerin, and you can get this at Michael's. So we need 1 tablespoon of the glycerin. So now we just have to mix this up. So we just keep mixing this until it is smooth and clear. And now we can put this to the side. And now take a large bowl and take your sifter, and now we're going to sift 1.5 pounds of confectioner's sugar. So that should just be about like 1.5 of these boxes. So now once you have all of this sifted, they say to use a wooden spoon and to kind of like make a hole in the center of it. So once you have the hole in the sugar, we can take our liquid mixture that we made before and pour it into the hole. And now take your wooden spoon and just mix this until it becomes sticky. Okay, so now just take some powdered sugar in your sifter and just sprinkle it onto the work surface. So now I'm just going to pour this onto here. And it says that you can keep adding more powdered sugar if it becomes too sticky. So you just want to make sure that you have that right by you in case you need to put any on. And then it says you can also take Crisco and put it on your thumbs to knead the fondant together. I don't really think it's necessary because it's been going good so far, but I'll try it. Okay, so I'm like really shocked how easy this was to make, and I think I might start making my own fondant now just because it literally costs like barely anything to make it, and to buy it it's like a bit more expensive. So now I'm going to show you guys how to color the fondant, and since this is still a little bit sticky, I'm just going to take some powdered sugar and just put some of it on top just to make sure it's not sticky, because when you do color your fondant will get like really sticky and it's kind of hard to work with. So once you have your fondant, you can pick out what color you want to use, and I'm just using this violet color from Lilton. So I'm not going to color all of this, I'll just color like a little bit. Alright, so there's a couple ways of doing this. So what you can do is take your color and just a toothpick and get the color on the toothpick. And you always want to start out with a little bit rather than a lot because you don't want to ruin the color. So I'm just going to put a little bit on. And it's kind of like when you're like younger and you would use Play-Doh and color it, or if you would make dough. So you just keep playing with it and working it in. And I'm just going to keep adding some confectioner sugar into this because it is a little sticky. But if you bought yours from a store, then it shouldn't be sticky. So you can do it like this and just keep playing around with it, or if you don't want to get your hands dirty, you can put it into a plastic bag. And I'm just going to throw some sugar in here so that it doesn't stick to the bag. Zip it up, and make sure you get the air out. And then just kind of do the same as you would as if the bag wasn't there, and just play around with it. And you want to keep pulling it apart because you're going to find there's kind of like almost pockets of color. So you really want to make sure that these are blended throughout the whole piece of fondant. So once it gets to the color that you like, you can just put it to the side and let it harden a little bit. You don't really want it to harden, but you kind of just want it to get back to room temperature because it most likely got really warm from your hands. So I'm just going to put this to the side. So when it comes to storing this, you really want to make sure that it doesn't dry out. So for me, I kind of go overboard when I'm storing it. So first what I do is just take saran wrap and I wrap it in the saran wrap. And you just want to make sure that there is no air in here, so you really want to make sure all of the air is out. And then I take tin foil. I know this is a bit obsessive. Most people will just put it in like a like airtight container or in a Ziploc bag or something, but I just really want to make sure that I don't waste any. So now I'm going to take tin foil and basically just do the same that I did with the saran wrap. And now I take this and I put it into a Ziploc bag. And just zip it up about a little bit, and then just make sure you push all of the air out. And then once you feel that all of the air is out, just close it very quickly so that it's kind of like suctioned into there. So I'm going to do the same for this one. So what you're going to want to do with this is just keep it in a place that's not too hot, not too cold, because if it's too cold, then your fondant will just get really hard, and if it's too hot, it will get way too sticky. So some problems that people have with fondant is that they go to get it after it's been stored for a while, and they find that it's really, really hard to kind of work with, and it's almost like you could like tap it and it would just be like sound like that, like really hard. So if that's the case, then you can just put it into the microwave. I would say 15 seconds maybe. You can just keep checking on it. You don't want it to get too soft, but that will definitely help. And I'm sorry, this is kind of like awkward. My head is not in this, but I have like self-tanner on my face right now, so I look a little bit scary. But and like I said before, anytime that you're coloring fondant, you're going to want to let it just kind of sit for a little bit and let it get back to room temperature before you start to work with it, because then it will get really, really sticky and it'll be very hard to work with. And some of you guys ask how you attach like one fondant piece to another, and normally what I do is just take a paintbrush, make sure it's specifically for your baking. Don't go paint something and then bake with it, but so take a paintbrush and then just put a little bit of water on it, and you can just apply it to the one piece of fondant, and then you just take the other piece. So say that you paint the water right here, then just take your other piece and you're going to want to hold it there for a little bit until they stick together. So if you don't want to make your fondant and you just want to buy it, you can get it at Michael's, which is normally where I buy mine. And I know they also sell it like on Etsy and just anywhere on the internet. But now that I've tried making it, I would definitely recommend making it instead. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know if you decide to try to make your own fondant. I promise you guys, it really was so easy. It's definitely not as hard as everyone says it is. I mean, other recipes may be a little bit harder, but this one was definitely very easy to follow. So let me know if you try it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.